With having a restaurant right next door is oregano. What were your inspirations for oregano, and do you change the menu often? Do you change on a seasonal basis, quarterly basis, and big changes, small changes, and maybe you can talk a little bit about the menu planning behind it?
Yeah. Well, the menu, I mean, oregano really is, that restaurant was around for about 15, 20 years. So I've owned it now for about 3 years. I mean, really what it is a neighborhood restaurant. We're in the middle of Etobicoke, and it's a neighborhood restaurant. It basically caters to the community of Islington. We are pretty well known for our food. People like what we do. Our menu is diverse. I mean, we've got Italian, we've got French, and it's a little bit like what I used to do in the hotel. You give a little bit of everything to everyone. But the most important thing when you're opening a restaurant or you run a restaurant, it's all about value for money. And that's one thing I learned in the hotel, is that we want to make sure that you give people value. When people leave your restaurant and you want them to come back, you want them to make sure that they had a great experience. Two, the food quality is outstanding, that they just love everything. But also leaving the door feeling, when they look at that bill and they say, hey, you know what, that was worth the money that I paid, they're going to come back. And also quality ingredients is so important. Try to use as much local ingredients as you can, which is important. I know our climates are a little bit different here. But also the quality of meat that you buy, the seafood you buy. You know, I'm a big believer of, if you're going to put shrimp on the menu, put a nice shrimp on the menu. Don't put those little guys on the menu and charge them, you know, expensive pricing. Buy good quality products. Suppliers, you don't need to have 100 suppliers. Have one guy that does all your meat for you. Have one person that does your vegetables. One person that does your fish. And that's it, you know, and you have that relationship with those suppliers. And that's the philosophy that we have next door. So we have only 45 seats. Some nights we can do 90s, you know, we can do 80. We can flip it a couple times depending on what goes on. Who knows what's going to happen tonight? You don't know.
And with the menu plan, do you switch it on a quarterly or a monthly?
Yeah, we try to switch it at least. We try to switch it at least 2-3 times a year. But now, you know, going into our 4th year now, I've found a bit of a trend. Because we're a neighborhood restaurant, we find a lot of our customers come for certain dishes, so it becomes difficult to change those dishes. And you might have this, you'll have a couple that come in every Friday night to have the spaghetti and meatballs. What are you gonna do? So what we try to do is we try to change it up, but keep those core items. And what we're starting to add features. I mean, we do a couple of features. You know, we'll do a weekly feature, which I find is good because you're able to buy product at a good price, and then, you know, and run it for a week instead of doing it every day, because you don't have the same people coming every day, right? So you can do it for a weekly thing. So we found that's being very, very successful for us.
Yeah, excellent. Well, sometimes change is good, and sometimes, like you said, with your regular customers, change might not be so good. So you got to find that balance.
Yeah.